Am I audible to you, children? Good morning, children. Today, we will continue with what we did yesterday. That was a chapter about the cell. And we did the factors which affect the size of the cell. Then we did what is cell and types of cells and all. So now we were on the different shapes of the cell. What are the different shapes of the cells? And so I told you that RBCs, these are enucleated, and the shape of RBCs is biconcave. At the same time, I told you amoeboid cells. Amoeboid cells, that means the cells which do not have a fixed shape. Those are amoeboid cells. They keep on changing their shape. So these are either amoeba. Amoeba doesn't have a constant shape. Amoeba, which is a single-celled organism. This also doesn't have a constant shape. At the same time, the WBCs, or they also do not have a regular shape. They show amoeboid movement. The movement which they show, which is shown by them, is known as amoeboid movement. Amoeboid movement. And by this movement, they move from one place to another. And at the same time, these WBCs, they show amoeboid movement. At the same time, they are nucleated. Nucleated means they possess nucleus, and the nucleus is of different shapes. Different shapes of nucleus they possess. Different shapes of nucleus. That means sometimes the nucleus is spherical, oval, round like this. Sometimes it is bilobed. 2 lobes are present in the nucleus like this. Sometimes it is multi-lobed. 3, 4 lobes are present in the nucleus like this. So different shapes of nucleus is present in them, and they are nucleated. So this is about the WBCs or the leukocytes. Then we have many more shapes, like we have talked about the irregular shape or amoeboid, or this you can also say call it irregular shape cells. Irregular shaped cells. You can also call it irregular shaped cells. Besides this, some are spindle shaped. Spindle shaped, that means you must have done this in the case of muscles. Spindle shaped muscle fibers which have a centrally located nucleus. These are smooth muscle fibers. Some of them, they have some. This type of shape also you have seen. This is seen in Vibrio cholerae. This is a bacteria, which is a bacteria, Vibrio cholerae. Then there is rectangular shaped, which is skeletal muscle. Then there is, the head, which has a number of elongations like this, and then a tail, and then further dendrites. These are dendrites here. So this is a neuron. One shape of the cell is like this, neuron or nerve cell, which appears to be like this, the nerve cell. Then we have the epidermal cells of the leaf, or the squamous epithelium, thin flattened cells like this. Okay, these are epidermal cells. Then we have some cells which are like this. Okay. And then we have structure which comes out of this. And these are present in the poriferans, and these cells are known as collar cells or choanocytes, stinging cells. Choanocytes or stinging cells, the stinging apparatus. Okay, so some cells appear to be like this. Some cells are oval. So here, like this. Some cells are like this. We can say these are mesophyll cells. Some cells appear to be like this. Some cells are like column. Some cells are like cube. Like this. Some cells are like column. Okay. Like this. So cuboidal, columnar. So we have these different shapes of cells which are seen, and they are on the basis of their shape they are given name. They may have nucleus or they may not have nucleus. So this is how the cells are of different shapes. We find it in the body of the organisms. So now I switch over to the next topic, the types of cells. These were different shapes of cells. Now I switch over to the types of cells. The types of cells. On the basis of the number of cells present in an organism, the organisms are divided into unicellular, when the body is just made up of one cell. Body made up of one cell. Then we call such organisms unicellular. The bacteria, amoeba, all are unicellular. Multicellular, when the body made up of more than one cell. Multicellular organisms, human being and many more organisms, these are multicellular. So we have unicellular organisms, we have multicellular organisms. So this is on the basis of the number of cells is present in the body. We have one more types of cells. The two types of cells are for the prokaryotic cells and the eukaryotic cells. So there are two more types of cells which are known as prokaryotic cells and the eukaryotic cells. Now, these two cells, they differ. How do they differ? They differ in the presence of their nucleus. Pro means primitive. Karyon means nucleus. Primitive type of nucleus is prokaryotic. Eukaryotic, that means modern type nucleus. So modern type of nucleus. This is the literal meaning of these two words. In one, the primitive type of nucleus is present. In second, the modern type of nucleus is present. Now, what is the difference between the primitive type of nucleus and the modern type of nucleus? How do they differ? Does anybody know this answer? How do the primitive type of nucleus differs from the modern type of nucleus? Yes. Anybody who knows the answer? What is the difference between primitive type of nucleus and the modern type of nucleus? Yes, beta. Anybody knows the answer? Why do we call a cell that this is primitive type of cells, and why do we call a cell a modern type of cell? This is on the basis of the nucleus they have. What is the difference in their nucleus That they have a primitive type of, yes, I'm getting answer primitive, not enclosed with nuclear membrane. Yes, Yashika, your answer is correct. Primitive type of nucleus, that means the nuclear membrane is absent. Nuclear membrane is absent. And in the modern type of nucleus, the nuclear membrane is present. In one other, the nuclear membrane is present. Suppose this is the nucleus. The nuclear material in this case, where the nuclear membrane is absent, it is present, it just lies on the cytoplasm like that. Whereas in this case, the nuclear material is properly bound with the nuclear membrane. The nuclear material, and it is bound by the nuclear membrane. But not in this case. In this case, it just lies on the cytoplasm. So this is the first difference between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cell. Another difference is, membrane-bound organelles are also absent. Like we have a proper mitochondria. Mitochondria is bounded by a double wall. We have many more structures which are lysosomes. We have Golgi complex. We have endoplasmic reticulum. All the organelles are membrane bound. In this case, the membrane bound organelles are absent. Membrane bound organelle are absent. Whereas in this case, the membrane bound organelles, these are present. So this is the first point, this is the second point, this is the third point. So membrane bound organelles are present in that case, and in this case it is absent. So this is the main difference between a prokaryotic cell and a eukaryotic cell. When we see the nucleus is a primitive type, the nucleus is modern type, the nuclear membrane is absent, the nuclear membrane is present, membrane bound organelles are absent, membrane bound organelles are present. These are the three most important point of differences between the two. Okay, now in this case, the primitive nucleus which is present without a nuclear membrane, we can call it a nucleoid. We can call it incipient nucleus. We can call it a nucleoid, we can call it an incipient nucleus. Whereas the eukaryotic, it is a true nucleus. It is true nucleus. It is true nucleus which is present in this case. So this is another difference you can write, and this is how the prokaryotes, they differ from the eukaryotes. Now after this, we come to the different types of, I'll make the diagram of the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell, how the prokaryotic cell looks like, and how the eukaryotic cell looks like. So I'll make the diagram of prokaryotic cell for you first. Example of prokaryotic cell is a bacterial cell. The most common shape of bacterial cell is, it is oval. So this is oval. This what I have drawn is the plasma membrane. Outside this we have a cell wall made up of peptidoglycans. Then some of the bacterial cells, they also have a layer of mucousy layer outside it. And this mucousy layer is known as the glycocalyx. Okay. Then besides this, as you know, that the nuclear membrane is absent. So the nuclear material, it just lie on the cytoplasm like this, doesn't have a proper nuclear membrane. So it just lies in the cytoplasm like this. Then some of the bacterial cells, not all, they have extra nuclear material also, which is known as plasmid. So this is plasmid, the extra nuclear material. Then besides this, as you know, the membrane bound organelles are absent. Here we have some invaginations, which are known as the mesosomes. The membrane has some invaginations like this. And besides this, we have some structures in them which help them to for locomotion. These structures are not so big, these are smaller than. And besides this, we have some long structures like this, which are known as pilus. Which are used for reproduction. We have fimbriae, we have pilus, beside we have plasmid. Besides this, we have ribosomes. Ribosomes are present here and there, and in some cases, the ribosomes are in the form of polyribosomes. Like this. Then we have some RNA. We have somewhere we have RNAs. We have glycogen granules also. Sorry, these are glycogen granules, and these are RNA we have somewhere. Okay. So this is the structure of a bacterial cell. We have fat globules also. We have RNAs, we have ribosomes. I'll make some fat globules also with a different color. We have starch granules also. Fat globules and starch granules also. So this is what a bacterial cell looks like. Now, whenever you label a diagram, the labeling should be done on this side. Means all the labeling should be done on the right side. And here a diagram is incomplete unless we write what is this diagram about. And it has to be written right below it. So I can write a bacterial cell. This I have written a bacterial cell because I do not have enough space here. So and it is difficult on this board to bring it till here. So I will do some labeling on this side also. But most of the labeling I'll try to manage on this side. So here, like this. Then we have some respiratory enzymes here also. Okay. So these are pilus, Pilus. This is Fimbriae. Okay. Then this wall is glycocalyx wall, glycocalyx layer. The inner one is this one. This inner one is plasma membrane. Next to this, the outer one is cell wall, which is made up of peptidoglycan. The cell wall made up of peptidoglycan. Then we have this plasmid. After this, we have these mesosomes. We have this fat globules. We have this ribosomes. These are polyribosomes. This is RNA. Then these are starch granules. Okay. And the red one I haven't marked. These are fat globules I have made. Glycogen granules, starch granules or glycogen granules, same. Polyribosomes, and the ones which are present inside the mesosomes, these structures. These are respiratory enzymes. This is cytoplasm. And what about this one? This is nucleoid, NuCleOD, nucleoid, also known as incipient nucleus or indefinite nucleus or false nucleus or pseudo nucleus. You can use many words for this. Incipient nucleus, indefinite nucleus, pseudo nucleus, false nucleus, any word you can use for this. Incipient nucleus, indefinite nucleus, false nucleus, pseudo nucleus, many words are there for this. So these are various parts of a bacterial cell, which is a prokaryotic cell. The outermost layer is a layer which is made up of glycocalyx. This is a glycocalyx layer, and inside which there is cell wall, which is made up of peptidoglycan, inside which we have a cell membrane or plasma membrane. Then this plasma membrane has invaginations, and these invaginations are known as mesosomes, which contain some respiratory enzymes. So the process of respiration is carried out by these respiratory enzymes, which are present in the mesosomes. Then we have the ground substance or the cytoplasm. In the ground substance, we have ribosomes. Ribosomes are the organelles which do not have a membrane. Besides this, we have fat globules, we have RNA strands, we have polyribosomes also, And we have some extra nuclear material also in some bacteria, not all bacteria. This extra nuclear material is plasmid. This plasmid is only responsible for the synthesis of pilus, the pilus which is formed here. This is made, this pilus is used for sexual reproduction. In case of this pilus, this pilus is used for sexual reproduction. Uh, and this is produced by the gene which is present in the plasmid. So plasmid synthesizes this pilus. So I'll just write it for you here. I'll erase this bacterial cell for a minute and I'll write it for you here. Or here also I'll write, just a minute. I've got, this is polyribosome. This is a bacterial cell. This plasmid has a gene which is known as P gene, most probably. It has a gene, the plasmid which is present here, this plasmid, the plasmid which is present here, it has a gene, and that gene helps in the synthesis of pilus. That gene helps in the synthesis of pilus. And what for this pilus is used? Pilus are rod-like structures. These are used to perform the process of conjugation. Conjugation. Conjugation is a type of sexual reproduction which takes place in bacteria. So this extra nuclear material, why do we call it extra nuclear material? This is known as extra nuclear material. Extra means extra, outside. So outside the nucleus, some nuclear material is present. This is the nuclear material which is present outside the pseudonucleus or false nucleus, and we call it plasmid. This plasmid has a big use in the process of biotechnology, the biotechnological process. In biotechnological process, this plasmid is used a lot. So this is what then we have ribosomes, which are polyribosomes also, and ribosomes also, which are non-membranous bodies. Then we have fat globules, which is a form of synthesis of fat. Then starch granules are also present, RNA strands are also present. The fimbriae, these are also there, which are used for locomotion. So fimbriae are there, the pilus is there, and this is the complete structure of a bacterial cell. And one thing more which I would like to tell you, if the plasmid is present, if where the bacteria in which the plasmid is present, they have a positive strain. They are known as the bacteria with positive positive strain. And we have one more type of bacteria which is negative strain. So which is negative strain, if this plasmid is present, these bacteria are known as to have a positive strain. And if the plasmid is absent, then it is known plasmid absent, plasmid present. Bacteria also, which we will study when we will take up the topic Monera. Then we will study what are gram positive and gram negative bacteria. But right now, I'm just telling you there are two strains of bacteria, the positive strain and the negative strain. Positive strain of bacteria are the bacteria in which plasmid is present. That means the bacteria which I have made here is a positive strain bacteria because plasmid is present in it. And the bacteria in which the plasmid is absent are negative strain bacteria. Also, the bacteria which are positive strain, that means where plasmid is present, they are considered to have a male fertility factor, and where this plasmid is absent, they are considered to have a female fertility factor. So on the basis of that, they are also considered as a male and a female. And that is why the process of conjugation then takes place, in which the pilus is used. The pilus has a function in the process of conjugation, which is a type of sexual reproduction. Okay, so children, anything in this topic which you could not understand? Anything in this topic which you want me to repeat about the prokaryotic cell? Yes? Yes, beta? Anything you want me to repeat in prokaryotic cell in today's lecture? Yes, Pachi, I'm not getting your response. Okay. Yashika is saying understood. Anybody else? Anyone who wants to repeat? Okay. Amrita is also saying. Yes, anything which you could not understand or you want me to repeat, because 2-3 minutes are left, so I'll not be starting the next topic just now. Yes, beta. Any query, any repetition which you want, or any query which you want in this? You can speak also because you are not mute. Okay, can you tell me the various names of the nucleus which is present in a prokaryotic cell? Various names of the nucleus which is present in the prokaryotic cell. Yes. How do we call the nucleus, which is a prokaryon? Prokaryon means a primitive type of karyon. You know, the study of nucleus is karyology. Yes, I'm getting the answer false nucleus. This is one. Any other name which can be given to it? Yes. Pseudonucleus? Yes. Incipient nucleus? Yes. Pseudo has, Sanvi Rana, the pseudo has P in front of it. Indefinite nucleus? Yes. Yes. Incipient nucleus, indefinite nucleus, pseudo.